the live stream, so bear with us at the same time. But while we're waiting for everybody to come in, we're trying to figure out how everybody's week was. And so far, it's been eventful.
Go grab a drink.
Get a drink, y'all. Come on in. We got our Houston stuff on. I be acting like I like
champions. Y'all see the Astros
sports, but I really don't. Yeah.
I made a home team of y'all. Y'all see that?
So I mean,
see that?
That's a big deal because I did not care about sports before at all. So yeah, I'm glad everybody is safe. Hey, everybody coming in, come in. We decided to just do our lives because backstory, Phil and I have been together, 10 years, married in May, 14 years dating, right? Mm-hmm. And like everybody's just like, oh, we love y'all story, we love y'all, but they don't know like everything that we've been through. So they're just like, oh, is it like a fairy tale? And it's not, okay, y'all. It's not, and it's hard, and it's a lot of work that you have to put in it. And we just like to be as transparent as possible because, you know, there's so many couples that look like they're good on the outside, but on the inside, you know, it might be communication issues, anything. And we just letting everybody know if you're in a relationship, if you're about to be in a relationship, think about being in a relationship. These are just the conversations that we can have. And we just share a little bit of our story to help out other people. And I mean, feel free to jump on and ask us any questions if y'all have a situation. I think last time we were on, somebody.
Yeah, they were talking about what their son and their relationship. And
the son was sleeping with the best friend's baby mama or something like that. The baby mama
was sleeping with the son's best friend.
It was something. It was
crazy.
It was like an episode of Jerry Springer on this thing. So I was just like,
I see you, Missy, right? Relationships are work.
They are work.
As long as you both are doing it, then it's a good reward at the end. But don't get it twisted, man. You gotta,
especially if you work with that person. And that's one thing I wanted to share. Like, y'all know me and Phil have 11 different jobs. I'm a educator turned entrepreneur. So I am doing multiple different streams of income, different events and businesses. Shout out to Zoe's Creations and ZMZ 360. But Phil is my business partner in all of them. And when you say relationships have to work, they have to work, especially when you're working with somebody that you're married to. Mm-hmm. So just giving a little bit of advice on that and how we do it. I really don't know I think it works because I'm so type A. So like, I like things done a certain type of way, and Phil is more laid back. So I'm the one that just overthinks and tries to figure out everything. And Phil kind of like calms me down. He's like, hey, everything's going to work out. It's going to be good. And I'm just like, well, maybe this and maybe that. But,
yeah. And I have to like, no, we got to, what can we do? Like you start with what can we do and just move from that. It's like, I hear what you're saying, but literally what can we do? What can be accomplished in the amount of time that we have?
Right.
So let's just.
So, but it comes off in two different types of ways. So me, I'm very direct. I am very direct. So when I communicate, I'm very kind of harsh, and Phil is more like, whoa, like chill out. So when you have somebody that you're in a relationship with, especially that, I mean, you might be thinking about like why they didn't do the dishes, you know, earlier that day. And then we'll be talking about a shirt order that we had and just get real short with each other just because, oh my goodness. Oh, our hair. Oh, thank you. The hair just growing anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just you have to make sure that you're talking to that person, you're able to effectively communicate. And then sometimes not to take the stuff personal because we live together, we work together.
We got to take care of these kids.
We have together. 2 kids that are trying to take us downtown, the Chinatown.
Yeah, we evened up. It's 2 against 2, so you know we got to stay as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, because once we start fighting against ourselves, that's when the other ones they know. They start coming in.
Because the second one's the ringleader. Zara's going to lead.
Yeah, that second one. So we have to be on a united front. Mm. And I mean, it's tough with 2 kids, 3 businesses, a full-time job.
And I say, I go to work too. I got a full-time job.
I'm getting my master's. Like, I really don't even know how we are even alive right now. But we are just doing it. And you go through the hustle and bustle. And sometimes you just talk to each other. And a lot of things that happen is miscommunication.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing, y'all. So here's a major key we wanted to talk about was miscommunication, okay? Especially, it doesn't have to be y'all working together. It doesn't have to be, y'all could just be talking to each other, but y'all, getting over miscommunication is a big key. And like learning how your partner communicates, like I said, I'm very like to the point. Phil's not that type of person. Like determination, you make time for what you want. Exactly. Mm-hmm. You definitely make time for what you want. And you definitely have to understand your person's, like, how do they talk? Like Phil,
right. Like the direct comes up. It's like I said in previous episodes, like I feel like I'm naturally defensive or so when you come with something very direct, it depending on the tone, I take it as why are you attacking me for something that we supposed to be working on or that I'm just trying to help out in. And so you also have to do a self-assessment too and be like, all right. Sometimes you can't catch it. Look, we adults, right? Like you like you're human beings. Sometimes you naturally react. It's a direct response, and sometimes your natural reaction is what somebody's gonna get.
Yeah.
And the communication part after it, right? Like it's things that we're 14 years in now. We understand that a little bit more now. A lot more now. So,
but you have to go through it.
But before, like we talking 14 years ago, it's like that's where a lot of the strong disagreements come from, because it's like she would say something and I'm naturally like, nope, what you attacking me for?
Yeah.
And then we both going at it because
and then he deflects and then it ends up being a whole nother subject. And then you talking about stuff that y'all mad about from 3 weeks ago that people you done held in. You're like, where did that come from? It's like, yeah, that's why I don't like your friend Shirley. You're like, wait a minute, we haven't hung out with Shirley in 3 weeks. Where did that come from? But
Shirley Ann, whatever that is, you ain't seen her in 3 weeks time.
But you really have to figure out, like, and don't go like below the belt, because sometimes y'all, okay, so I'm gonna be honest, sometimes my anger, I have this side in me, and sometimes I might just say something and be a sharpshooter and be very blunt and direct, right? And sometimes you have to watch what you say when you're mad at the person. Because, really, we could be talking about dishes and he wanted to wash a cup and I told him to wash a spoon instead or something. And then it's just World War III. It ends up being something totally different. And you end up getting mad and saying something about, his ex-cousin's auntie's baby mama, right? And it just be like, yeah, that's why she don't have no hair. And then it didn't have to go there because y'all was just talking about dishes, and then it just ends up snowballing. So like, y'all, whenever y'all get mad, make sure sometimes you just need to breathe and then think about it. Because sometimes I'll be like, you know what did he say? He said he wanted to wash the spoon. Oh, okay. And like literally, you done already blew up. You had time to think about it, and you was like, dang, I might have overreacted at that time. It's like
we've literally had like arguments and disagreements, and you just arguing for like an hour or something, and then once you finally, because like we said, we don't go to sleep angry. When you finally can calm down and literally just have a level-headed conversation, you sit and you can actually hear the miscommunication. And that's like the big thing where you can break down, you be like, okay, so when you said that, I interpreted it as this. Mm-hmm. And so I was functioning off of that interpretation this way. And when in your head, you thought when you said this, I was supposed to go this way. Mm-hmm. It's like, but we were so busy trying to figure out why this other person is so upset at whatever situation. It's like, and then it's like when you're mad, you're not listening. So somebody's saying something, you just like, I'm thinking about what I'm going to respond with.
That's it.
And not like, what did they just say? What did the person just say?
Because I'm always thinking about the comeback. That's what I'm like. Yeah. And that's why in 1993, your sneakers was dirty. Like, that's what I'm already thinking about. But he could have had a clear and direct point. And I'm just too busy trying to be petty to even understand, that we were saying the same thing. And most of the time we saying the same thing.
Saying the same thing.
It's the worst. Because he was like, oh, you was trying to say that? I was trying to say that too.
And please take it from us, because we pick. When the person that says that we're saying the same thing says the same thing, try to just actually listen to that, because I promise both of us do not and roll right through that, and it'd be like 15 minutes go by, and it'd be like, did you not hear that I said 15 minutes ago we were saying the same thing in just a different way? And it's like, it does appear that we were saying the same thing.
Yeah, and by then you like, dang, we just wasted a bunch of time. I'm hungry. Right. We could have been eating by now. Like, it's so many things. Like our show, we could have been through like 4 episodes of whatever we were streaming at that time. But we too busy trying to argue over about the same thing. And it'd be something so petty, y'all. And I don't know. Usually, I don't know what gets you so. It might be other things, though. It might be other things throughout the day that you end up just taking it out on somebody. And
that's the thing too. That's where the trying to bring it back in with the communication portion. Yeah. It's like that can be part of it too. And so like you start fleshing out I'm sorry, I don't know why I got so mad, but such and such has said this to me at work or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So let me take my personal feelings out. Okay, you was hyped up about the situation. And so I know we had a back and forth, but it's like, I understand. You're human. I know I come home from work. Sometimes you just don't be in the mood. Sometimes you're home with the kids.
That's and just it. And then that's the closest person you can snap on. And then you can snap about anything. Like, oh, you watched the whites with the colors. It's like, dang, I thought we wasn't segregating anything anymore. We talking about, I'm like, what are we doing? And so it's just, it ends up just being so petty. Right. No segregation.
Everybody together.
Everything together. So it's just something that you have to work through. And the first couple arguments, I mean, they probably gonna be knockout, drag out fights. But if you can get through them, and this is what we're trying to help you with, we're trying to help y'all win and get past that 3-month stage, 6-month stage where y'all just trying to get to know each other. Once y'all start having the honeymoon, once y'all start having those real fights, you see how people really get mad. See if they start talking about your mama when they get mad, or hit below the belt.
Yeah, please don't talk about the people, mama. let's take a second to say, don't talk about.
Please don't talk about their mama.
Please don't.
I know you might get mad, but imagine trying to get back together.
Yeah,
and then you just be like, oh babe, I'm sorry what I said yesterday about.
I ain't mean to talk about the crusty ankles with the big toe. It's like, that's a sensitive subject.
Right.
That bothers her, the toe and the ankle.
That was it.
But you just wanted to say that because that's gonna make.
Yeah. So another thing I want to talk about was like, how do you reconcile after that? Like, how do you just like, oh, okay, I forgive you. Like, how long do you think that takes to actually like forgive somebody over when you have like let's say like a big argument?
Whew. I mean, it takes a minute. When I get, like I said, I'm very even keeled personally. So, right, when I get elevated to whatever emotion, it's kind of hard to settle back down to what I am majority of the time, right? So, it's tough. Usually, it's a lot of self-reflecting that goes into it and trying to figure out what I could have done. First stage I have to is to try to stop coming up with the stories or what I could have said in said argument or what I could have done. Let's be very, very honest with the people on. That's a first step of what's so hard for me to calm down, right? I'm steadily going through what was going on, what she said, what I could have said better, what my response was. And it was like, oh, you didn't say what you really should have said because she said something you wasn't expecting to hear. That's generally what it is. That's why I probably love her so much, right? Like, I can't fully figure out the argument. She was the first person to be like, "Hi, I did not think you were going to say that." So now what? So everything has to be very organic with us because it's like I didn't even formulate what I thought the response was because she hits me with something different. So it's like I got to give you whatever truth I got now. I don't have no answer.
Yeah. I like to live in the gray. I just be like, what if this? And he'd be like, what? I thought you was going to have a clear and opposite answer. And I'm like, no. I'm like, because things are not always black and white. Like, what's the middle section? Like, what is the, the whole intersection of what we are trying to talk about, you know? So it's like, what's the middle ground? What's the middle ground? And what if each person trying to say? Because everybody has different perspectives too. You have to understand that somebody's coming from their perspective. When you're dating somebody that has a whole different, maybe a whole different background, different life story. So you have to understand, try to integrate that and everything that they've been through. And then y'all come together and have experiences together. And you don't know what past things might pop up. Yeah. You know, they might be trauma. They might have trauma. They might have exes. They may have just things that you might remind them of, especially if y'all been dating later on in the game. And trying to get those personalities together, baby, that's a whole nother ball game. And look, it's something you got to work on and stay dedicated to. And, you know, whenever you decide to forgive that person or whatever, just try to move on and try to just, I mean, it's hard to let go, but what's some advice for people that you think that had like a miscommunication? They're just trying to get it back to how it was.
For the men specifically, just go buy some food.
Yeah. Yeah. Step, right? I'm always hungry.
Hear the secrets. Just go buy whatever y'all like to normally eat. Just go order it, have it delivered. Y'all know we have it delivered. So just have it, try to get some food, right? Because food generally lightens the mood. It's a heightened emotions, but food is usually a calming factor, right?
Yeah.
So first tip, like I said, food. But once y'all come to the realization that it's a miscommunication or whatnot, very honest, blunt tip that she'll know I'm about to say, you gotta have sex.
Well,
you gotta
you know what? I was gonna say that too, though, because like really, you really have to just connect and get that energy out.
Because the kids should not be listening to this, but being very honest,
get that energy out so y'all can like let that aggression go. And once you do that and you let that aggression go, yeah, you should be. I mean, you're still gonna think about it, but then I guess you just do it again.
Right, you know what it's saying? You know what it's saying? Like you want to put the issue to bed. It's in the sand. You're gonna put it to bed. Literally. It's gonna stay right there. All that energy that y'all have, leave it right there.
Well, there you go. All right. For the women, the same thing, the advice?
I mean, don't everybody win in that scenario?
So women, you do the same thing.
Women, you receive the food, you try to calm down.
And then you go to bed.
And then you go get you something.
All right.
And then y'all connect on the spiritual level.
All right. Okay. All right. Anyway, so if you guys have any questions for us, that's just some advice that we had on our heart just to talk about. Advice for people who may be going, because we know some people that are going through miscommunications, and sometimes it's super simple, like just literally sitting there and having a face-to-face conversation, especially when you're dating and you're like texting and like people don't get the message too. It's so easy to have miscommunication through text messages, like me and Phil do all the time, because you never know like the tone, you never know what the person is asking.
And you never know what the person's doing. You know how many times have you probably in your life thought about something, you got upset that somebody's not responding at a certain time or at a pace that you think that they should be responding.
Yeah.
And then you already mad, and then you having a issue or whatever, you come to find out, what were you doing? Well, I was meeting with my boss. It's like, oh, well,
yeah.
Okay, I guess you can't text me back at that moment. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's true.
The communication is just that simple. Sometimes it's that simple, but that can lead to stuff that builds up, right? So try to be open. Try to have that. I don't want to say the word communication anymore. Try to express yourself as clearly as you can, and you can even sometimes overexpress yourself, right? Like try to maybe even try to overremember. I forget, like I'll go along with tasks and think that I've said something, I've sent a message to Shay, and it'd be like, nope, because you rolled to the next thing, you never got to say.
Oh yeah, and I don't never be reading. I be just skimming the text messages. If it's over like 2 sentences, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I'm not gonna read it. I'm not.
And then that's the thing, because I'm like, oh, let me put this whole thing in here. So that she's like, look back at the message. I put the whole thing. I'm gonna be here. I put the whole thing in this thing right here. She was like, oh, I didn't see the bottom part. I'm like, I know you saw your first two sentences, and you ain't see the bottom part. He was like, no.
But on the real, I think I have ADHD. I'm not sure though. I'm sure I think so.
Never been diagnosed.
No, but so like that has to be an excuse for something, right? So just send it twice.
Reason, no excuses, right?
Anyways, so if y'all have any questions for us, let us know. But Phil, I have a good question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is some dating advice you would give your 20-year-old self? Because when we get together at 21, before
you said at 20? I don't know. Dating at 20?
I don't know. Yeah, we met at 20.
I was 21.
You was barely 21.
Barely 21.
Anyways, like you were like three days into 21.
Yeah, probably a solid month.
Okay, so just say at 18. 18, right? What's some advice that you have? Do you have a safe word when you need your partner to be more sensitive or understanding to you in a situation? Oh, Jeremy, that's really good. A safe word for when you need your partner to be more sensitive. No, you know what?
Have a safe word.
We need to do that.
Idea, actually.
Because usually I just slam the door and put music on and don't want to talk for like 3 hours. And that's usually my way of saying that.
It's not a safe word. It's like a safe. It's probably not even a safe sentence. It's just the whole sentence. And then you just like, all right, I'm going to just leave you alone.
Is that what I do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like,
what you just said, he was like, I'm like, no, it's like a safe. It's a really unsafe sentence.
It's an unsafe because if anything happens after that,
my space.
Anything happens after that is about to go over the edge. But a safe word, y'all, that's really good. So what would the safe word be? We need to develop this. Well, how would you know though if you need yourself? Because would that end up being a fight? Because I'd be like, you know what? You're coming at me too rough. I guess that's when we say the safe word.
Yeah. I mean, would it end up being a fight though? Because I mean, if somebody says it, the other person knows.
Banana. You know what? I was really thinking a fruit, but it wasn't gonna be banana. What was I thinking?
Papaya.
No, papaya. You're like, you know what, Bill? Papaya.
Hey, look.
This conversation is doing too much. Papaya. But that would be a fight because how would you say it? Would it be like a nice, smooth and like, you know what? I really can't do this and you're really hurting my feelings, so papaya.
Maybe you just pull up the fruit and show it on the phone.
Or maybe you'll text it.
Mm-hmm.
But then how would you take that seriously though?
Oh, that's interesting. It's safe for us to say, hey, I think we've been heated or under. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I'm being heard or understood. You know what? Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, you know what? Phil, well, he doesn't like when I call him. You know when you're mad at each other and you start using like the government first name? So you're like, because usually it's like, babe. And so I could be like, you know what, Phil, I'm just not feeling like I'm being heard right now or understood correctly. How would you respond to that?
It would probably be, okay, so what part am I missing? Like what am I misunderstanding?
And then I'd be like, it'd be the part when
right. How do we get that part? How we get that part to like
it was the part when I said, take the trash out.
But that's why I think the safe word, just my understanding, should be something that is not in your normal train of thought, and that's why I said papaya, because I thought it was kind of funny, but to kind of like
try to cut it out
and be like, I know it's a serious situation, but it's like I'm throwing this out there so that you can like, it needs something to like cut through and be like, hold up.
So did we just make our safe word papaya?
Papaya. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I honestly, especially this person is now, it's like you
now
hear,
we talked about it,
right,
so
right.
you have
So
to
now
talk about it
so
when
now,
you're not
so now hearing it, I'm gonna be
mad.
like,
Papaya. Okay, now I got to think about it.
okay,
You know what?
I'm
That
gonna
was
stop.
really good.
I'm gonna
That's
stop.
really good. I didn't think
And
about that.
whatever we arguing about, okay,
I didn't think about that. So papaya.
tell me to say your sentence again. That's actually really good.
So thank you for that.
Thank you. That's really good.
Okay, so what we said 18. What is some dating advice that you would give to 18-year-old Phil for our watchers?
Dating advice for 18-year-olds. Don't take life too serious.
Because you'll never come out alive.
No. Be cordial and be open. There's going to be different experiences that you're going to come across with whomever that you are trying to court or date. So just embrace the experiences. Try to get to know them as much as possible before you get to know them, because that comes with a bunch of different things. So 18-year-old self, I know it's easy to think about just getting to know them as quickly as possible, but put forth the time to really know who you're talking to. It's a nice way to put it, right?
Yeah. And what else?
Now that'd be it. 18-year-old self, yeah. I mean that.
So basically, get to know the girls.
Get to know the girls. Be open with yourself. Try to, because at 18 you still haven't figured out who you really are.
Maybe that's one a good one too.
So like 18, it's like, that's why I put, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't take everything too seriously.
Yeah.
It's like literally focus and try to strive, make goals on what you aspire to be or what you want to be. But I mean, you're still going to be evolving. You're still going to be learning. You're still going to be growing. You're going to be maturing for sure. So don't beat yourself up. Don't have your 18-year-old self make mistakes that you're still going to be thinking about at your 35-year-old self.
Yeah, that's good. And it's so crazy because at 18, I don't think I was worried about me being 35 at all.
Not at all.
I can even see past 21. So taking notes in my 30s because I still don't know. Look, for real. And sometimes other people get it at different times. So, yeah, cheers to that.
I said that sentence speaking to myself. That's what she said.
I was about to say,
look. About that. Look. I was talking about myself. I still struggle with mistakes that I think about I made back in the day. And it's like, you gotta let that go.
Gotta let it go, man.
So if I would speak to my 18-year-old self, it's like, don't take these mistakes, any mistakes that you didn't make too hard.
Yeah, because you gotta learn. Yeah.
Got a life to live. If you really think that if you really try to think positively and move in a positive direction, mistakes gonna happen. Yeah. Because life is gonna throw them at you.
Yeah. Okay, what would I say? I think to my 18-year-old self, what was I doing at 18? I was at FAMU, huh? I would say be open, be you, be unapologetic, and be confident, and know that you are the prize. What else? Always stay in your word. Say what you mean and mean what you say, and have fun. And every heartache and everything is a lesson, and learn from it, and it only makes you better. Doesn't make sense at the time when you're 18 years old and you're going through it, or whatever time, but everything happens for a reason, and it ends up working out or not working out, and you'll end up being with that perfect person, but you gotta kiss a few frogs before you find your prince, girl. But stay patient, girl. Stay patient. So yeah, I think that's what I would say to myself. Because hindsight is always 2020, right? What would you guys say to y'all's younger self if, you could say like anything about dating? Because
especially a couple over here, like we knew a couple of y'all that's on here when we were 19 and 20.
Right.
What was some questions you would give to yourself or to us?
Yeah.
We like the interactions.
Yeah. Any questions that you have for us, for the incoming, like y'all dating somebody, think about somebody.
If you think about your 18-year-old self and what you would have done or what you wouldn't have done dating wise or whatnot, like
Woo, child.
I try to not go back and think about what I would or wouldn't have done with all the exes that I had, to be honest with you, because I try to think like all of those issues led me to me and Shayla crossing paths, because if not, we could have missed each other. You know, so
everything happened at the right time, honey.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, we took a class together and didn't want nothing to do with each other.
Oh my gosh, I took a tennis class with him and I could not stand him at all. And I said, look at this guy thinking he's God's gift to women. So like,
God's gift to women. Well, I was just single.
He was in tennis class and he was just he was
trying to talk to whoever was trying to talk to me.
And I was just like, hey, and I was like, look at him.
And Shay was up.
I was dating somebody else at the time.
Like, look, I am not trying to.
Who is this guy?
I'm not trying to
talk to every girl in the class.
And you know who I'm not trying to talk to? The woman that did not want to be talked to. I left anybody that didn't want to be talked to alone. Absolutely. It was so many different people at FAMU. There was like, what, 9 to 1 female to male?
Yeah.
11 to 1. It was crazy. I'm like, no. If you don't want to talk to me, that is absolutely
and I didn't. Fine. And I didn't want to talk to him.
And we did not communicate. Look, we forgot about it.
Until 2 years later.
Yeah, a couple years
met again, and I guess we did want to talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Real bad. So I guess that all changed. But yeah, just notes to yourself, like younger self, or even if you're still dating right now, just take it easy. Try people on. You know, see what you like and see what you don't like, and just be open and compatible to people, and then learn stuff about yourself. I really highly recommend that you learn stuff about yourself, because you can't bring a half person to a whole relationship. You want to bring 100%. It's 100, not 50-50. So always work on yourself and, you know, try to do better for the other person, but really try to do better for yourself.
Yourself first.
Yeah. Put yourself first.
Do better for yourself first.
Yeah.
And then do better for your other person.
Yeah. So I guess that's it that we have. Anything?
Yeah, man. Anybody want to
any closing comments, any advice, any questions you have for us before we start wrapping it up?
Thank y'all for joining.
Thank y'all so much. Yeah, if y'all have any feedback on the forum, we're trying different things out. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are all just they don't like each other. So we're trying to figure out how we can integrate them and try to have one seamless flow. We have a YouTube. We're setting up the YouTube channel. We'll have you be able to subscribe so you can see all our episodes in a row, and any topics that you would like us to talk about. We are really, really here. Oh,
shout out to the birthday girl.
Yeah, but happy birthday, Deirdre. She said she caught the live. Finally. Yeah. Hey. Shout out.
Hey, my homie from way back.
Yeah, she met us when we were just starting out. We have some stories about New Orleans we cannot talk about. Amen. But you know what? Amen. It was our time to be alive.
I've been my homie since high school, man.
Yeah, so
it is crazy how life comes full circle. We got kids and whatnot. We did not have kids when we was in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So anyways, thank y'all so much for the support and any feedback that you have for us, any questions. And if you love it, let us know. And if you hate it, just tell somebody else, okay? But we love you guys. Stay strong. Peace, love, and hair grease.
You know what I mean? Don't go to sleep mad. You know, we're going to always leave with that. Don't go to sleep angry.
Oh, that's the baby.
I feel like I tried to start. So on that note.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to bring her in. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to bring the baby.
This is why we generally do this downstairs. See, we tried to do this in our office, but we tell you about this second one. The second one is a different breed, you guys. A whole different breed. She's just cute.
Yes,
Look at this.
Look at this. We have a guest.
Look at Daddy.
Look at Daddy.
It is.
Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Yeah. Say hey to everybody. You see the cameras? Say hey, everybody.
You're supposed to be asleep.
Why was you crying? You're not gonna say nothing now? You gonna blow
See
a
all that
kiss?
noise? All that noise?
Yeah. What were you crying for? You were just crying? Why? Were you sad? Yeah. You were sleepy?
No.
Girl.
It's late.
It's late. It's
way
time to
past
go to
your
bed.
bedtime.
It's time to go to bed.
It's night time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is the hardest thing to tell the other? Oh, hardest thing to tell one another. I think the hardest thing for me to tell Phil is like feedback on him as a person, because I know that it would probably like hurt him to the core. You know, like if I feel like something is happening and I need to like say, hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z instead of this, and this. I feel like that's the hardest thing, because I feel like I'm trying to like control him. It seems like I have to control his whatever his reactions are, you know, or control him as a person, or it may not be his personality. So I just overthink it, and then I feel like he's gonna take offense, and then I make a whole scenario up in my head, just like I did just now. But those are the hardest things, like anything personally that I have to tell him. What about you?
It's literally like the same thing, right? Because as I said before, I generally go through my head like the whole conversation or argument or whatever. So before I even say anything or try to say, hey, you know, I don't feel like you appreciate me for X, Y, and Z, or I don't think that I'm fulfilled or satisfied like with our situation or whatever, right? It's like I've already gone through my head this situation and what I thought the conversation is going to be. So it is I'm already stressed out before the conversation is even had, you know. And so
and that's crazy, because I didn't know you did that. You just never talked, so I thought you just didn't care. Yeah. And it literally took us going to therapy to even realize that. Like I just thought he just didn't care of anything, but he's really like quiet, thinking in his head the next step. And I didn't even know that. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you cared that much. I thought you were so chill that you just didn't care about anything. And I'm the person that cares too much about everything. But once I understood that, it was a different ball game.
Because when I get in my head, it's kind of like a robotic, kind of like you kind of take a step away from like your physical self or whatever. So I kind of just look like I'm just stuck. You know what I mean? Like it kind of. And so I get what you mean by I don't feel like you care. It's like, it's not me not caring. I'm just like, I'm going through all the situations, process in my head, and you just kind of just like my shell of myself, right? It's just like I'm still processing stuff. So I'm, you know what I mean? I'm not reacting to whatever. I'm not just.
This is my juice from my cleanse. I know she don't want it. It's like beet juice. Anyway.
She's just trying to stay.
Therapy is a game changer. I'm so glad y'all are normalizing. Yes, absolutely. We are very big advocates of therapy. We have a Black marriage counselor, and we ended up getting them through a friend, and he is amazing. Not saying that they have to be Black or whatever, but you know, people who are similar to you, you don't have to explain certain things. So you know, he understands certain things. He understands our behaviors. He understands that what we're trying to say to each other, and it's good just to have an extra person, not a person that's small like this, but a person just to hear both sides, because sometimes you need an equalizer, and you might be saying the same thing instead of having a whole argument and then realizing at the end y'all was trying to say the same thing. Y'all can go to the therapist. Yes, the cultural nuances definitely matter because
They do.
You may not understand, our culture, and might think that me, because usually Black women are kind of louder or whatnot, might think that I'm yelling all the time, but it's just the way I talk, or
and I don't think, and I wouldn't think that she's yelling. It's like that. That's not.
Or it's aggressive, or anything else, and it could be just it's just sitting there. Like, why I gotta be aggressive? I was just because I wasn't smiling. Oh, okay, yeah. But definitely having a counselor or somebody you can call in, or even some people you can confide in, another couple. Like, hey, y'all, we going through it. Please don't tell our business, please. But this did happen, XYZ and XYZ.
Pick your circle very carefully, but
it
is very, very essential. Like we had a group where it was three of us couples, and we would like meet online and communicate, and it was different lengths of marriages, different age groups, and so you was able to get different experiences and like have feedback. And one thing that we found from that is a lot of the successful portions of relationships. You find some certain similarities in all three of the relationships, but they don't necessarily come from one individual person. Like these traits come just from the males to make a successful relationship, if that makes sense. Like, I felt like the traits that me and Shay exhibit that have ourselves a good marriage or whatever, we found in them, but not in the same person. It'd be like, oh, I'm more like him in that. Oh, but in that situation, I'm more like her. I would do what she did, not what he did. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I'll be like, you see, and then they have issues where the other person doesn't like what the other person's doing too. It's like, yeah, because they have this portion of their personality that doesn't feed well with this. But that's why your strengths and weaknesses, you come together and try to work on them, right? Like,
yeah. And she said, besides our parents, we don't have a marriage couple mentor. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I have to borrow other people's parents, like Phil's parents or our mentors. Just get people, hey girl, people in the community or whoever else, people in the church, whoever you hang out with, and just try to hang out with people that you like, the future you want to see. You want somebody, I want to be with people who love their family, who love their wife, who love their husband, want to have just a good time with your family. Like, I want to see like, okay, this is how I want me and Phil to be in the future. I love their relationship. I love everything they stand for. And try to reach those goals and just know that, hey, it's going to be tough and things are going to happen. But sometimes, most of the time, you got to roll with the punches. And this is the partner that you choose to do that with. So you got to commit with them every day. When you stand under God, you make a commitment
in the trenches,
friends and family. Showing your dedication and like literally exhaust all avenues. Not saying that, some people get a divorce and it's great, is what they needed, And
this ain't here to judge them.
No, there's no judgment.
If that was the best decision for y'all, that's the
do
best
what
decision
you do what you do. But
however, I strongly advocate for it. You got to leave no stone unturned.
Like therapy, everything.
Try it all. Try to go to the thing that you don't want to do. Like honestly, before you get to that whole divorce thing, like you should try the stuff you don't want to do.
Yep.
Both people. Yep. Yeah. You both should try the stuff you don't want to do and see if that at least helps in some way, shape, or form, right? Like you never know what a small gesture or something you don't like to do, but is monumental to your partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that gesture means the world to them, and to you, it's like it's just a slight inconvenience.
Right. And it's the love language, knowing that, and try to out nice them instead of trying to be out nasty your partner. Try to out nice them. Try to make their day better. Try to just do something nice for them. Just surprise them. Do something. You go to the store, that's their favorite thing to eat. Go pick something up or something that you thought of them. Like, oh, I like got this candy bar because of this, or these sunglasses remind me of the time back in 1994 when we had these sunglasses party or something like that. But just do nice things, because you never know, they might be stressing out in something in their head that they didn't tell you about, and they might be overthinking something, or they might have their job or something else on their mind, and it is not even you, but we're just the closest people. So it's easy to take out on a person that is close. That's your family members, the person you're married to. So just have grace for that person, because that's the person that you are committing to doing everything with. And you don't want something petty to go between you and your partner. Now you done lost your partner for life because y'all having a whole argument,
You're like that trying
try
to
to out nice your partner. Yes.
Yeah, if you spend where do we get that from? If you spend your time trying to focus on doing something nice
good,
for your partner, if they're doing the same thing, you're not worried about what they're not doing for
bad,
you.
Yeah.
So as long as you both are putting forth that effort
towards your partner, try to make their day. And then they're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to try to make their day, and they'll just keep on going, paying it forward. And, next thing you know, you look up and you just have a great relationship because y'all do little things and you take time out to notice the little things. And I think that's what we really get frustrated with.
Right. And it's no fairy tale. Like, I know it sounds really nice, but that's the work portion that we're just talking about. Like we said, the marriage part about work, that's the work part. The like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this thing because I know this will make my partner's day just a little bit better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where normally you would probably go about your day, your normal routine. Like, let me try to switch up what I normally would do just a little bit to help them out.
Yeah.
And if I do that enough that they see it, and then they start doing stuff for me like that.
Yeah.
And as long as you acknowledge that you see that they're trying to do that, that's a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do things, and then somebody's not seeing that you're trying to put forth that effort,
it's
and
then
they feel like they're doing it all for nothing.
Yeah,
right?
It's the gratitude. Definitely have gratitude for your partner and show gratitude, because we're all human beings, and you have to think about it. Although you'd like to get waited on hand and foot, that means that somebody else is being inconvenienced for doing that. So
that's good.
Try to do that for somebody else as well. So have empathy and think of your partner and everything they had to do in order to try to make you happy. And that's a big deal, a big gesture, So even if you don't spend any money on it, it's just something small and it makes their day. So
that's right, man.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. Any other questions or comments? Y'all are coming through.
Man, I love y'all.
Is the 9 o'clock time better? Because it's the engagement
more
for
engagement
me.
This time. I love it.
I love it. I know our kids. The only thing is, this is why we try to go for. And she's saying no.
You see, but this is the 10 o'clock. Like, we thought she was gonna be asleep. She put her down at 8.
Yeah, man.
I see what time it is.
Yeah, so this is but the other one is knocked out. She put herself down at 8. So
if y'all know us, y'all know Zoe like to sleep anyway.
That girl, she right next door. She can hear us, but she gonna be asleep. Yeah. She gonna be asleep.
We're not worried about that. We had whole parties in our whole other house, and she's been knocked out.
Stay asleep. So
not this one though. This one is a fighter.
Yeah. Oh, Drew sleep. Demi still fighting. Yeah. This is great. Y'all are wonderful. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
It's live tonight. So many gems here. Thanks.
Come
on, you guys. It's a support. But yes.
Hey man,
David.
Hey, my God.
Yes.
That's my dude. What's up, David, man?
Yeah, we're just, sharing a little bit of advice and hoping our stories can help other couples, because, it's a lot of things people don't talk about, and like, we don't want to just show that they're like, oh, they have a perfect life, whatever. No, we're open. We're trying to help out. We want couples to make it. We love. So anything that we can try to do to help our generation make it together, man. Right. It's the most married couples in the history in the past generations. It's like it's up like 70%. So,
and we want it to stay that way, right? Y'all stay married.
Choose love, y'all. Choose love.
Choose love, man. Look, this is fun, man. The single life is scary.
Yeah, and then you also, when you're parents, you don't really have an outlet, and sometimes it's only just social media, and or the kids are watching Coco Melon, and you're scrolling, that's sometimes your outlet. So like, do it through social media. We can actually be social on social media and make it feel like other people understand you. You're not struggling alone. Your kid, yes, these kids is bad. Yes. So yeah, no, I mean, we're not making it up. We're all going through it at the same time. And we're all suffering. So we can just suffer together on social media. No, just like that was funny to you.
Send help.
What? Choose love, yes.
That's
All right,
right.
guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Like we did a good hour. I thought we was gonna wrap it up at 30, but we had the good questions coming. So I appreciate y'all, and we'll do it again. We're gonna try to do it weekly, y'all. But we're gonna be honest. Life is crazy, okay? So we'll try to do Thursdays is usually my free day, and we'll try to do it around this time. Apparently 9 is lit, so we're gonna try to make it around this time. So let us know how to promote it. Some things we do. I try to make the little flyers, try to show our face, try to tell a bad joke just to get y'all's attention. And I appreciate y'all coming on. And we love y'all so much. And just keep on giving love and positivity. Just pay it forward. Do something to make somebody smile. Because you never know. What is it? Always be kind to someone, because you never know. Someone's fighting a hard battle, a tough battle.
Mm-hmm. You never know what someone's going through.
You never know. So just spread love, because you never know what people. Oh, Christy's asleep. Oh, well, tell everybody. We said, hey, we love you guys near and far. Our cousins, all our people from Florida, Louisiana, everywhere. We love y'all, and we love the support, and we wish we can be there in person. She trying to take this cup. We love y'all, and I think no, and she about to turn up, y'all. So we really got to go.
We're about to drop her back on.
Yeah, she got to go to sleep. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. We love you, mean it. We'll try to do it same time, same place next week. Yeah. Hopefully, let's baby. You want to say bye to everybody?
Say bye.
Bye, y'all. Oh, now you want to say nothing?
Bye.
Oh, say have a good night. Say I love you.
I you.
Okay, love kiss.
Love a kiss.
Oh,
there you go. That's a good
all right. Good job. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, now we got to get to the computers. All right, y'all. Be blessed.